Imagine waking up every morning to the gentle warmth of the sun streaming through your window. There's a calmness, a sense of peace. You no longer worry about money because, even as you sleep, your income flows steadily like a serene river. But what if this flow was more than just financial? What if it was a source of spiritual abundance as well? For centuries, spiritual teachers have spoken of aligning oneself with the natural flow of life, allowing blessings to come effortlessly. Buddha once said, "The trouble is, you think you have time." But what if the real issue is that we're not using our time to cultivate true wealth? Wealth that not only fills our bank accounts, but also nourishes our souls. Today we're diving deep into the transformative concept of passive income, but not in the way you might think. This isn't about quick schemes or flashy investments. It's about creating lasting streams of income that flow naturally, aligned with your purpose, your energy, and your deepest calling. Welcome to Zen Companion, where the harmony of the present moment unlocks infinite wealth. Before we continue this journey into attracting soulful abundance, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share your voice in the comments below. Let's anchor this intention together with a powerful mantra: I am open to the flow of infinite wealth and divine blessings. Type it below, feel its energy, and let's keep planting these seeds of prosperity. Imagine a garden where each seed holds the promise of abundance, a gentle unfolding of possibilities that can bring peace and security to life's later seasons. These seeds of passive income, whether a cozy rental property, a heartfelt digital creation, or a thoughtful investment in a shared vision, carry the potential to bloom into streams of financial ease. Yet, like any garden, they flourish only with care, intention, and a patient heart. Picture a small cottage, its porch adorned with blooming flowers, rented to a kind family who fills it with laughter. This rental property could be a seed, quietly growing into monthly income while offering a home to others. It's not just about the money, it's about creating a space of warmth and connection, a legacy of care that extends beyond the present moment. Starting might mean researching local markets with a trusted advisor or exploring online platforms that simplify property management, allowing the process to feel less daunting and more like tending a cherished plot. Or consider a digital product, perhaps an ebook woven from personal wisdom, recipes passed down through generations, reflections on life's quiet joys, or a guide to nurturing inner peace. This seed requires no vast fields, only a laptop and a spark of creativity. Platforms like Etsy or Gumroad can become the soil, offering a place to share these creations with women across the country seeking inspiration. The beauty lies in crafting something once and watching it touch lives repeatedly, each sale a small ripple of connection and purpose. Investing in someone else's dream, like a small business or a community project, is another seed that can grow with meaning. Crowdfunding platforms or local cooperatives invite participation in ventures that resonate with the heart, perhaps a bakery that employs women rebuilding their lives or a sustainable farm nurturing the earth. This isn't about chasing wealth but about planting hope, where returns come not just in dollars, but in the quiet joy of uplifting others. Exploring these opportunities might begin with a conversation at a community center or a visit to a trusted financial planner who understands the desire for both security and significance. Each seed demands nurturing. A rental property needs occasional check-ins, perhaps a fresh coat of paint or a kind note to tenants. A digital product grows through gentle promotion, sharing it with online communities of like-minded women or through a heartfelt newsletter. Investments require a watchful eye, staying informed about the project's progress while trusting in its potential. Patience is the sunlight here, allowing time for roots to deepen and blooms to emerge. Beyond the practical, there's a spiritual layer to this garden. Each step, Choosing a seed, tending it, waiting for growth, becomes an act of faith in the future. It's about trusting that small efforts, infused with love, can yield abundance. Meditation or journaling can anchor this journey, offering moments to reflect on what abundance means. Perhaps time to savor mornings with a warm cup of tea, the freedom to volunteer at a local shelter, or the joy of gifting a grandchild a special experience. This garden also thrives in community. Connecting with other women, through local workshops, online forums, or church groups, brings shared wisdom and encouragement. Stories of success, like a friend who turned her knitting patterns into a thriving online shop or another who invested in a community garden, can inspire new ideas. These connections remind us that no one tends their garden alone. We grow together, sharing sunlight and strength. The journey of planting these seeds is as much about the heart as it is about the harvest. It's about creating space for financial peace while weaving a tapestry of purpose, connection, and care. Each seed, nurtured with intention, becomes a step toward a life where abundance flows not just in income but in the quiet beauty of a life well lived. Picture a serene moment, seated in a tranquil space where the world's noise fades away. The air holds a gentle stillness, and the soft whisper of leaves dancing in the breeze outside carries a sense of peace. With each slow, deep breath, a wave of calm flows through, grounding the heart and mind. This quiet space is sacred, a garden of the soul where the seeds of abundance take root. Abundance doesn't sprout from rushing or striving but blooms in these moments of clarity, where the heart speaks its truth and the future feels within reach. In this stillness, a question emerges like a tender sprout. What small, meaningful act can be done today to nurture tomorrow's growth? Perhaps it's the dream of writing a book, a collection of stories or reflections that carry the wisdom of a life richly lived. This could be a memoir of family traditions, a guide to finding joy in everyday moments, or even a children's tale inspired by bedtime stories shared with grandchildren. The process begins simply, setting aside a few minutes each day to jot down thoughts, letting the words flow without judgment. Online platforms like Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing can become the soil for this seed, offering a way to share this creation with others, each sale a gentle affirmation of purpose. Or maybe the heart leans toward sharing knowledge through a course, a way to pass on a skill honed over years. This could be teaching others how to create nourishing meals from simple ingredients, guiding them through the art of gardening, or offering insights on mindfulness practices that bring peace. Platforms like Teachable or Udemy make this accessible, allowing the creation of lessons from the comfort of home. The act of teaching becomes a gift, not just to others but to the self, as each lesson crafted deepens personal understanding and connects with women seeking to learn and grow. Another seed might be an investment in a fund that reflects deeply held values, perhaps one that supports renewable energy, empowers women entrepreneurs, or protects the natural world. This isn't about chasing wealth but about aligning resources with a vision for a better tomorrow. Exploring socially responsible investment options through a trusted financial advisor or platforms like Betterment can feel like planting a tree whose shade will benefit generations. The returns may come in modest dividends, but the true harvest lies in knowing these choices nurture a world more aligned with compassion and care. Each of these acts requires a gentle tending. Writing a book asks for patience, perhaps a quiet hour each morning with a cup of tea, letting the story unfold. Creating a course calls for small steps, recording a short video or outlining a lesson, each one building towards something meaningful. Investing demands a mindful presence, staying informed about the fund's impact while trusting in its growth. These seeds thrive on faith, a belief that small intentional efforts will blossom over time. This journey is also a spiritual one, an invitation to trust in the unseen. In the stillness of meditation or the quiet of prayer, clarity emerges about what abundance truly means. It might be the freedom to spend afternoons painting, the joy of surprising a loved one with a thoughtful gift, or the peace of knowing there's enough to share with those in need. Journaling can anchor these reflections, offering a space to capture dreams and track the tender growth of each seed planted. Community weaves this garden together. Gathering with other women, perhaps at a local library workshop, an online group for aspiring authors, or a church circle, brings shared stories and encouragement. Hearing how one woman turned her love of quilting into a digital pattern business or another invested in a community solar project sparks inspiration. These connections are like sunlight, warming the soul and reminding us that every seed grows stronger when nurtured together. The beauty of this garden lies in its simplicity and depth. Each breath taken in that quiet space, each small act of courage, each moment of trust becomes a seed sown with love. These seeds carry the promise of financial ease, yes, but also of a life woven with meaning, connection, and the quiet joy of watching dreams bloom into reality. Imagine a life where the rhythm of the day flows gently, unbound by the ticking of a clock or the demands of a schedule. Passive income at its heart is not merely a matter of financial gain, it's a doorway to freedom, a way to weave a tapestry of time that stretches wide with possibility. It's about stepping away from the weight of scarcity, where every hour feels like a trade, and instead embracing a sense of true prosperity. This prosperity isn't captured in bank balances or ledgers, but in the quiet moments of joy, the space to breathe, and the ability to live with intention and grace. Picture the peace of waking each morning without the pull of a rigid routine, knowing that income flows from seeds planted with care, a rental home perhaps, where a family builds memories, or a digital creation that continues to inspire others long after its making. This freedom allows time for what truly matters, lingering over a sunrise with a warm mug in hand, tending a garden that feeds both body and soul, or sitting with a friend to share stories and laughter. It's a life where the heart has room to dream, to create, and to give without the shadow of worry. One path to this freedom might be a small rental property, perhaps a charming apartment in a nearby town, offering a haven to travelers or a young couple starting their journey. This isn't just about collecting rent, but about creating a space filled with warmth, a place that holds stories. Exploring this could begin with a visit to a local real estate group or browsing platforms like Airbnb, which simplify the process of hosting. The income becomes a steady stream, a quiet gift that supports a life of ease while fostering connection with others. Another avenue could be crafting a digital offering, like a series of guided meditations recorded in a soothing voice, drawing from years of personal practice. These could be shared on platforms like Insight Timer or Patreon, reaching women seeking moments of peace in their own lives. The act of creating is itself a form of abundance, a way to pour love and wisdom into something that ripples outward, touching hearts across distances. Each download or subscription becomes a thread in a larger tapestry of shared healing and hope. Investing in a values-driven enterprise offers yet another way to plant these seeds. Consider a small stake in a cooperative bookstore that celebrates women's voices or a social impact fund that supports clean water initiatives. These choices, explored through platforms like Calvert Impact or a conversation with a financial advisor attuned to ethical investing, align resources with the heart's deepest callings. The returns are twofold: a modest financial yield and the profound satisfaction of knowing these efforts nurture a world of greater kindness and care. Tending these seeds requires a gentle hand. A rental property might need a seasonal refresh, a new coat of paint, or a thoughtful welcome basket for guests. A digital creation grows through sharing, perhaps by joining online communities where women exchange ideas for mindful living. Investments call for staying connected to their mission, perhaps through newsletters or annual reports, trusting in their slow and steady growth. Each act of care is an affirmation of faith in the future, a belief that small steps lead to lasting abundance. This journey is deeply spiritual, a practice of trusting in the unseen rhythms of growth. In moments of stillness, perhaps through prayer, a walk in nature, or a quiet evening with a journal, the meaning of prosperity comes into focus. It might be the ability to donate to a local animal shelter, to spend an afternoon teaching a grandchild to bake, or to simply sit in gratitude for a life of enough. These moments anchor the heart, reminding us that abundance is as much about giving as receiving. Community becomes the sunlight in this garden. Gathering with other women, whether at a local craft circle, an online writers group, or a faith-based retreat, brings stories that inspire and uplift. One woman might share how she turned her love of photography into a stock image portfolio, another how her investment in a community health project brought her unexpected joy. These connections weave a network of support, where every seed planted is celebrated, and every bloom is shared. This vision of prosperity is a quiet revolution, a shift from measuring life by hours worked to cherishing it for moments lived. Each seed sown, whether a property, a creation, or an investment, carries the promise of a life where time is a gift, where the heart is free to love, create, and rest in the beauty of a world made richer by small, intentional acts of care. And as Eckhart Tolle reminds us, life isn't as serious as the mind makes it out to be. Imagine a life where you wake up each day with a light heart, knowing that the seeds you've planted continue to grow, even when you're not watching. Because that's the power of passive income. It's a garden that continues to blossom long after the work is done. In the tender quiet of a new day, there lies an invitation to plant seeds of possibility, each one a dream waiting to take root in the fertile soil of the heart. These seeds, dreams of financial ease, creative expression, or meaningful impact, are not just for today but for the seasons yet to come. They ask for gentle care, a nurturing touch, and a steadfast trust that abundance will flow, even when the world feels still or uncertain. This is a sacred act, a way to weave a life rich with purpose, connection, and the peace of knowing there is enough. Consider the dream of creating something uniquely personal, like a collection of handcrafted journals filled with prompts for gratitude or reflections on life's simple joys. These could be crafted with love, perhaps using soft papers and delicate designs, and shared through an online shop like Shopify or at a local artisan market. Each journal sold becomes a small beacon of light, inviting others to pause and find beauty in their own stories. The process begins with a single step, sketching a design, writing a prompt, or learning the basics of an online platform, each moment infused with intention and care. Another seed might be offering a service born of experience, such as virtual coaching for women seeking to rediscover their passions after years of caregiving. This could take the form of one-on-one sessions or small group workshops, hosted on platforms like Zoom or Calendly, where stories are shared and dreams are rekindled. The gift of this work lies in its reciprocity. What is offered to others becomes a mirror, reflecting back personal growth and fulfillment. Starting might mean reaching out to a community center or posting in an online group for women, letting the seed take root through connection. Or perhaps the heart is drawn to a financial seed, like a dividend-paying stock or a bond that supports community infrastructure, such as schools or libraries. These can be explored through a trusted brokerage platform like Fidelity or with guidance from a financial advisor who values stability and impact. This choice is less about wealth accumulation and more about aligning resources with a vision of a world where education and community thrive. The income, steady and quiet, becomes a thread in the larger tapestry of a life lived with purpose. Nurturing these seeds calls for patience and presence. A journal project might need time to refine, perhaps experimenting with new designs or sharing samples with friends for feedback. Coaching requires listening deeply, both to others and to the inner voice that guides the work. Investments ask for periodic reflection, ensuring they continue to align with values, perhaps through a quarterly review or a conversation with an advisor. Each act of tending is a prayer, a quiet affirmation that growth unfolds in its own time. This journey is woven with a spiritual thread, a trust in the divine rhythm of life. In moments of stillness, sitting with a candle's glow, walking through a park, or tracing thoughts in a notebook, the heart clarifies what abundance means. It might be the freedom to join a book club without worry, the joy of planting a vegetable garden to share with neighbors, or the peace of knowing there's space to rest and reflect. These moments become sacred, grounding the work of planting and nurturing in a deeper sense of purpose. Community is the water that sustains this garden. Gathering with other women, perhaps at a local knitting group, an online forum for creative entrepreneurs, or a spiritual retreat, brings warmth and inspiration. One woman might share how she transformed her love of herbal remedies into a small e-commerce shop, another how her investment in a women-led startup brought her unexpected connections. These stories are like gentle rain, nourishing the soul and reminding us that every dream grows stronger when shared. The act of planting these seeds is a quiet celebration of life's possibilities. Each dream watered, each seed tended, becomes a step toward a future where abundance flows not just in income but in the richness of time, the depth of connection, and the joy of living in harmony with the heart's deepest callings. The world may pause, but the garden of dreams continues to grow, rooted in love and blossoming with hope. Stay tuned as we uncover the steps to building a life of passive income that not only sustains you financially, but also feeds your soul. Let's dive in. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful yet often overlooked forms of passive income, the kind that comes from sharing your wisdom. Think about it. You've spent a lifetime gathering experiences, lessons, and insights. Each one of these moments is a valuable gem, a piece of knowledge that can be passed on to others who are walking the path you once traveled. Imagine creating a simple ebook filled with the lessons you've learned about finding inner peace, navigating difficult times, or cultivating gratitude. This book doesn't need to be a bestseller. It just needs to touch one's soul, and that one soul can become a ripple that spreads far beyond what you could ever imagine. Or consider creating a digital course where you share your unique way of calming the mind, connecting to nature, or healing from old wounds. You may think, but who would listen to me? Yet, every voice carries a frequency, and there are people out there whose hearts will resonate with yours. The beauty of these forms of passive income is that once they're created, they continue to work for you while you rest. Your words, your wisdom, your teachings, they all become seeds that grow even when you're not tending to them. This is passive income that not only brings financial stability but also creates a legacy that can inspire, heal, and transform others. If you've made it this far, it's clear you're serious about creating a true source of passive income for yourself. So take action right now. First, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below sharing the passive income stream you already have or plan to build. And don't forget to share this message with someone who needs it. Let's spread the abundance together.